All right, so we'll start off with any questions that I can answer regarding what we've done till now. Anything with respect to the creation of BRD, an overview of SDLC, or anything else I can answer. All right, take that as a no. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick recap of what we've done till now. And after the recap, if there are any questions, feel free to ask. So the very first thing we want to do is we want to define the scope of the project. So the goal is we end up creating a business requirements document. Once the scope of the project is defined, the next thing that happens is project manager creates a project charter. And this charter talks about the time as well as the budget to complete the project. Once the project charter has been created, project kick-off meeting is conducted. And when we conduct this meeting, this is what initiates SDLC, which is System Development Life Cycle. So, what do you think? What do you think is SDLC? SDLC is the life cycle of a project. So the things that we do in SDLC, we start off with requirements gathering, analysis, design, implementation, testing, deployment. So SDLC is what we do A to Z in the project. And what we did yesterday is we went through each phase of SDLC and we understood what happens in each phase of SDLC and who is involved in SDLC. Any questions I can answer? All right, so now so the very first thing I do when I join the project is I want to understand the as-is business. And how do I do that? I understand the current business processes, I understand the current business jargons, and I understand the current system in a sandbox environment. And once I do that, I identify any questions that I may have with a designated mentor and I get it answered. And that's how I get up to the speed. Now, what I want to do today is I want to do a case study with you. And whatever we have learned until now, I want to give a practical approach to that. So this way we are able to understand the real life of a business analyst. So I'm showing you a website called cpai.com. So if you look at this site, this is a place where you can create your account and where you can apply for insurance. Now, this site is mainly created for AICPA members. AICPA stands for American Institute of Certified Public Accountants. So if you are a CPA and if you are a member of AICPA, through this website, you can get insurance at a discounted premium. So this is what this website is all about. Now I want to talk about the as-is business for this life insurance company. So this is the website that has been created as a part of a solution, but I want to talk about the as-is business when this website did not exist. So I want all of you to keep taking active notes as I walk you through the as-is business process of this life insurance company. And if you want me to repeat anything, feel free to ask me, but please take notes because this is an integral part of the understanding of what we've studied till now. So let's imagine the year 2008. We are not in 2020, 21. So in 2008, this insurance company, they came up with a program where they want to offer life insurance to AICPA members at a discounted rate. So what is the very first thing they will do in order for this program to succeed? What do you think should happen? So they launched this program for AICPA members to sell this life insurance to AICPA members at a discounted rate. So what is the very first thing? How will they get the customers? What will they do? Anyone?
They'll contact the members of AICPA.
Perfect.
They will sponsor an event or something, advertisement for AICPA.
Yep, they can do an advertisement as well. However, what would happen is they got the directory of AICPA members. So do you know what the sales agents are called for insurance companies? What are they called as?
Insurance agent?
Exactly. So what happens is the insurance agent, they have all the contacts of AICPA members. So the very first thing they do is they go and meet these AICPA members and they explain them the benefits of purchasing life insurance through their company and the discounts that they're eligible for because they are AICPA members. So now if an AICPA member agrees to purchase the insurance, what do you think? How will that insurance agent enroll that AICPA member? What will they have to do first? In order for them to enroll, what is the first thing that they'll do? I want you to think about business processes.
Register for like the account on this website?
So I want to tell you that this website is a result of the project. This website did not exist then. I'm talking of the year 2008. So this website did not exist.
So they'll contact the sales rep or the insurance agent, and then he'll fill up the form and
perfect. Exactly, right? This is the first step. So step number 1. So I'm going to write here as well, and I want you to take notes as well. So step 1 is fill out a paper application. What is step number 2? Now, once the paper application has been filled by, so the insurance agent will make the customer or the applicant fill up a paper application. Now, once a paper application has been filled, what happens next?
It gets processed?
That is what I want you to tell me in detail. What do you mean by get? So I want you to understand the steps of processing, right? So what classifies as an application being processed? What are the things that you need to do in order to process an application?
Submit an application.
Submit an application. Where do you submit the application? Where would they submit the
To
application?
the underwriter, to the insurance
Ultimately,
underwriter.
it's the underwriter who will approve it, but there is a lot of things that happens before it goes to the underwriter. So first of all, answer me this question. Do you all know who an underwriter is? If anyone does not know, it's no big deal. I want you to tell me you don't know, and I can explain who that underwriter is.
I don't know.
Perfect. So an underwriter is the name of a job, or it's a role in an insurance company. And this role, so Krupa, when you apply for an insurance, right, for a life insurance, whether you get a life insurance or your life insurance application is rejected, who decides that? It is called the underwriter. So the underwriter is a role that reviews the application. And after reviewing the application, if they feel that, yes, we can issue life insurance, then they'll approve it. If not, they'll reject it. Similarly, in the mortgage world, when you apply for a mortgage, whether you're qualified to receive a loan or not, who identifies that? Again, it's the underwriter. But in that case, it's the mortgage underwriter versus over here, it's the life insurance underwriter. So the role who makes a decision whether to approve or reject a policy or an application is known as underwriter. So ultimately, the reason we fill this application is we have to get it to the underwriter. We need to give this application to the underwriter so that the underwriter can either approve or reject. But my question to you is, I want you to understand and tell me the process of how does this paper application reach the underwriter? What are the different steps involved before it goes to the underwriter? That's what I'm interested in. We are understanding the as is business. So let me just write down the caption here. All right.
Wait, Mitul, can you repeat your questions? Like, what's your overall question that you're asking?
Yeah. So
before you
question,
filled out the application.
Yeah. So the question I'm asking here is, did you get the part where the insurance agent, they go and meet an AICPA member to sell insurance policy? AICPA member says that, you know what, I am interested to get a life insurance, and they fill up a paper application. Are you on board till now? Are you with me till now, Isha?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So now the insurance agent has got the paper application that has been filled by the applicant. So what does the insurance agent do with this application? That's my question. So once the application is filled out and it's given to the insurance agent, what does the insurance agent do with this paper application?
Submit it to the underwriter.
Submit it to the underwriter. That's a smart answer. However, there's a lot of things happen before that. So I want to teach you the process of insurance. Hence, I'm giving you this stress. Anyone else can think of anything else? So let me ask you this question.
We'll collect.
Yeah, go ahead, Amit.
Okay. So the insurance agent will collect the necessary documents to prove the identity and whatever.
Yeah. So let us assume that all the documents are with the agent. What happens next?
And he will submit it to the company who is going to issue the insurance.
Good.
And he has to put it in the computer system.
Perfect. So we are talking now. So I'm taking one step at a time. Insurance agent submits all the paper documents or submits the paper application to the insurance company. We still are in a paper format. We still have physical papers. What happens next? So they go and give it to the company.
I'm guessing the underwriter picks it up.
Nope. So
Uh,
does the underwriter pick up the paper application to review? What is the form?
well, he's not going to pick it up to review it. I'm thinking if it's already in the system, then that's the next step, no?
When did
If
I
you
say
if
it's
the agent keep everything,
wait. When did I say it's in the system? There are two steps I
well,
wrote
that's
here. What
because that's what I
which
said.
step
So
of
that's what I thought you.
no, so which step of mine here suggests that it is in the system?
Well, then I guess that's the next step. Then you put in. It has to be keyed into the system, into the database, the system.
They can they can be sorted in the order they received it or the way company desires, like alphabetical or types of life insurance.
But sort what? The paper application?
Yes, I mean they're not only going to have one paper application, right? They're going to have multiple ones. So
Correct. So I don't see, so this is exactly what I want all of you to understand. I want you to understand the business process. Now, what happens in these companies is they never ever work on paper application, because what happens if you keep on passing the same document from one desk to the other, to the third, to the fourth? There's a risk of ruining that paper application. There's a risk that you might damage that paper application, and anything could happen to that application. So you really don't want to keep on using the same application from one desk to the other, to the third, to the fourth to process this. Instead, what you do is
scanning.
exactly.
I should have known this. I have done it for the accounting firm. Like I did over 1,000 pages in 2 days.
Exactly. So I have been trying and trying and trying to poke each of you to get me the right answer. Is 9:30 Eastern too late for your brain to be awake? If yes, we can prepone this by a few minutes.
Yeah, my brain
So,
cells dies after 9.
uh-uh.
I'm just kidding. I'm just
I
kidding.
know that. I know that. All right. So, imaging team scans the paper application into an image. So when you scan that application into an image, what would you be doing with that paper application? What would you do with that paper application then? Would you need any more? Would you need them? You would never need them. So what you do then is you basically just store them securely, and you never use them ever, because everything you need is now in an image. What happens? What is step number 4? What do you do with this image?
Now maybe organizing it in the computer in the right folder.
Okay, so it's still an image, right? So what do you do with this image?
Enter the application in the bank's or insurance company's system.
Perfect. So how would this be done? How would you enter the application into the internal system?
I mean, if it was 2008, they'll have to manually do it, right? Looking at the
Perfect.
images.
Super. So what would happen then is a data entry person will look at the data in the image and create an application in the internal system. Are you all following what I'm saying?
Yes.
Thank you. Step 5. What happens next? So now we have an application. So application is reviewed by and underwriter. Hey, Isha, can you please mute yourself when you're not talking? Because I'm getting a lot of
Sorry.
feedback from you. Thanks. The application is reviewed by an underwriter who either approves or rejects the life insurance application. All right, tell me this step. What happens after this?
No, not email. They mail the response to the
Perfect. Perfect. So fulfillment team prints the results and mails the result to the applicant. All right. So this is the complete process of applying for a life insurance and whether it's approved or rejected. So this captures everything. So now you are the business owner of life insurance. You're the business owner of this particular LOB line of business. And you feel that, you know what, this process is not very efficient. And you identify a lot of current business problems in this process. So the process that we just reviewed, what do you think are some of the business problems?
first thing, paper application.
So what's the problem with that? You tell me the problem.
I mean, ultimately, if they are going to put it into the computer, why do you even need a paper application?
Paper application has a lot of the applicant's information that can be lost.
I don't think that the applicant information can ever be lost because they handle this paper application with utmost care and they scan it into an image. So
What do they do with it after that?
with
What do they
what?
do with the actual paper application? That's what I'm
Well,
saying.
they store the paper application into a secured place forever after
Okay.
that, or they
Okay.
might even,
All right.
or they may even shred it. Does not matter.
Okay. All right.
Maybe the paper application route, because of the amount of time it takes, it costs a little bit too much to do as well.
Okay, so there we go. So point number one, lot of manual processes, and each of these manual process takes a lot of time. So can you help me identify which are the manual processes that are involved here? The first one is filling up a paper application is a manual process. What else are manual processes?
Submitting the paper documents and also scanning the paper documents.
Scanning the application. What else?
Reviewing and then mailing out the application as well.
You're missing one more thing before that.
Manually putting that into the system.
Yep. And are you all with me? These are the manual processes. What other problems do you see in this business process? What are some other challenges for the business which are not efficient for them?
Insurance agent having to reach every AICPA members personally.
Okay.
Or I don't know, at that time, maybe they personally have to like travel to the place and meet them. So travel expense.
Travel expense, that's true. However, another expense beyond travel expenses, insurance agents are used to get new business from AICPA members, and 25% of the received premium is taken away by an insurance agent. So we are giving a lot of commission to these agents for bringing the business. So that's another expense for us. What else? What else? I want you to be able to identify issues in a business process. There is another huge potential issue here, which creates a lot of problems later on. What is that? Let me give you a hint. It is
The mailing.
Okay, so that is another issue that I'm going to talk about. So what about mailing?
Instead of mailing and wasting paper,
Mm-hmm.
then just emailing is better. And a paper, I mean, I don't know, like cost effective.
Exactly, right? So that's number 4 that I wanted to talk later on, but I'll write it right now. The right way for us to write this could be, we can say,
Mail cost effective.
Expenses resulting from printing and mailing the application result. All right, one more, number 3 that I wasn't before. So this problem is related to step number 4. Here.
The person who is entering the data from the image to the system is manually, so they could make mistake like typos.
Super, and that's a huge pain in the neck. It's because imagine you look at it and you key in wrong data. You're just giving wrong information to the underwriter. So data errors resulting from mistakes made by data entry person. All right, so these are the current business problems. So I hope you know what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to sketch a BRD here. I'm trying to create a business requirements document. So the first thing that a business requirements document has is it has current business problems. It talks about the current business problems. The second thing it talks about is the proposed solution. So if these are your current problems, how do you wish to solve them? Does anyone want to give a try?
By making a website or transferring everything online, giving the customers access.
Say that again.
Transferring everything online on a website.
Okay. So we will say the way we'll write the proposed solution will be the goal of the project is to implement customer facing website that shall allow AICPA members to submit life insurance application. This system will also allow the AICPA members to track the status of application as well as allow them to pay insurance premium. So this is the proposed solution. Next, systems impacted, a very, very important part. All right, so who would like to give a try here? What are the systems impacted?
Since this is like a whole new project, I don't think any other system would be impacted except the data entry, I guess. I mean, they don't have to do work anymore.
Great, I'm liking this. So can you help me understand the flow? So what are we doing now is we are creating a
website?
An external system. So let's say we created this. All right, this is created. Now, once the AICPA member comes here and they click on submit the application, what would happen to that application?
It is directly submitted in the system for, I don't know if it is going to be like automatically done or the underwriter would still have to review that.
Well, it will never be automatically done, right? It always has to be approved or rejected by an underwriter.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, then since it's directly in the system, the underwriter would review that, I guess.
Great. So let us understand the flow once again. In the 2B process, would we need this? So I'm just copying this. And before I go into the BRD, I'm writing another word here. This is the as is business. And I'm talking about now the 2B business. Will this happen? Fill out paper application, will this happen?
No.
No, that's not going to happen.
This is not going to happen. So I'm going to strike this here. Instead, what's going to happen?
They'll have to fill up an online form.
All right. What about this? Will this
Mm,
will
That's not going to
not be
happen.
needed? Yep. What about this?
No need.
No need. What about this?
And we don't need that one too.
Directly, it goes here, right? So the moment they submit, it directly goes to the underwriter. Do you need this?
No, it will be replaced by an email, right?
Yep. So let me do some color coding so you understand how many things are we removing and how much easier are we making the process. So what are the benefits in terms of what are we saving in terms of money as a result of this process, new process, or as a result of this project?
Employee cost, I guess.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, what are we doing? We are completely eliminating the imaging team. When we are eliminating them, we're eliminating scanners and everything, and that's a huge cost. So I'm eliminating that. I'm eliminating people who are going to do the data entry. And apart from saving cost of employees, I'm also removing all the errors that could happen by the data entry person. I'm removing all the people who are going to print the forms for me. And I'm saving on the printing cost, I'm saving on the mailing costs.
Paper?
Cost of paper,
Yeah.
everything, yes. So it's a huge, huge savings. So coming back to the BRD, we understand the current business problem, we understand the proposed solution. So what are the systems impacted?
Oh, so the one we replaced, is it like filling out the online application instead of the paper?
So the first is external customer facing website. What kind of a project is this? Is this a new system? Is this system enhancement? Is this system reengineering?
It's new, right?
Correct. So create new. I don't want to say external. I'll just say create new customer facing website. Anything else that I need, anything else that will be impacted as a part of the project?
Replying via email?
No.
Paperless process is going to now be in place.
That is correct. But I am here writing the systems impacted.
How about the financial system? Like, I don't know, because it
No, see, I want you to understand, right? We are creating a BRD.
line though.
We are creating a business requirements document So I want to identify, right, as a part of this project, what are the systems in which I need to make a code change?
A place to register?
No, so that is the customer facing website. We're going to create that,
Okay.
right? So along with that, what else is a system in which I need to make a code change?
Hmm.
The internal system.
Uh, to make sure that the information that's input on the application is correct.
So why don't you tell me what are the changes I would have to make in this internal system? What are the changes I'll make in this internal system?
Um,
You probably have to add something that the underwriter could say if it's approved or rejected.
But that is already there in the system, right? Even currently, the underwriter can say whether it's approved or rejected. All right. Can you tell me I'm sharing the screen to the right place that identifies the changes to be made?
the customer will have to submit the application via website, right? And
Yeah, that's true.
once the application is in the system, then only the underwriter would be able to review that.
Correct. But I want you to understand what we're trying to discuss, right? We're trying to discuss. We are in the process of creating a BRD. So in the BRD, I need to tell what are the systems impacted. So I said, I have to create a new system for customer facing website. And I also need to do some code changes in the system used by the underwriter. So I'm just trying to make you ring a bell and help you understand as to why am I including this as a part of systems impacted? How is the internal system impacted? What are
Because
the
the
changes I need to
underwriter,
make? Go ahead.
I was going to say maybe because the underwriter is going to be the one who's approving or rejecting it, so there needs to be a code change that allows him to do that process before it's emailed out to the customer.
I mean, the underwriter was able to do exactly the same even without this project. Don't you think? In this here, the underwriter was anyways in the as is business, the underwriter was anyways approving and rejecting the life insurance policy.
Instead of
That's
instead of sending out in the mail, he's going to be email. They're going to be emailing it now, so that is
okay.
impacted.
Perfect. So that's one thing. But before that, there are a lot of things that needs to be done. Number one, my development team has to remove the functionality of scanning the image from that system. I need to remove the piece where the data entry person used to enter the data for creating a new application. I need to remove those pieces of code because we are no longer going to be using it. And third, I'm going to add capabilities where the results that of approve or rejection can be mailed to the customer, because now I have customer email directly in their application because they have an account with us. Are you all following? So those are the changes I'll be making in the internal system. Make sense? All right.
You said we have to update the code or write the code?
Yeah, update or write, right? We need to change the code, in short. Add or
Okay,
remove or
cool.
update. Code, C-O-D-E, code, the application code.
Yeah, I get the code, but I mean,
Yeah,
okay, it's not an online software where you have to like where programmers do like changes to the code. Is it something related to that, or I'm going on a wrong track?
you are going on a wrong track. So let me backtrack here. You understand the as-is process, right? You understand the to-be
Yes,
process, right?
yes.
Now, in order for us to do this project, I want to create a BRD. That is the very first thing I do. I want to create a BRD. So I'm defining my current business problems. I'm defining the proposed solution. The next part of my BRD is systems impacted. So let me show you another BRD that we had talked before. You remember this Bank of America BRD? What is the goal?
Yes.
The goal is to introduce online banking capabilities. So I wrote the current business problem, I wrote the proposed solution, then I came to systems impacted. In systems impacted, what did I write? Online banking capabilities will be added to customer-facing website, bankofamerica.com. So systems impacted is a section wherein I say that as a part of this project, the code changes or the requirements that the BA will be gathering and the developers will be coding will be related to which system. What is the system impacted in which will make this change happen? So it was the customer facing
Online.
side, Bank of America, right? I'm going to add online banking functionality to bankofamerica.com. Similarly,
Oh, okay,
when
I
I
get it now.
similarly, if I'm introducing this project, where am I going to make the code change? What systems will be impacted? So there are two systems will be impacted. First, I'll create a brand new system for the customers to submit an application because it currently does not exist. And second, once they submit an application, I need to make my internal system some changes. What are those changes I'll make? I'll remove the capabilities of scanning. I'll remove the capabilities of data entry, and I'll add capabilities of emailing results. And I'll also make my internal system capable of receiving the application from external system. I'm going to make the two systems talk to each other. All right. Does
I
that
think
solve
I'm
the
clear
confusion?
now.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Anyone else has any confusion? All right. Then the next part of the BRD we have is assumptions or dependencies. So I don't think there are any assumptions or dependencies for this project. Everything is internal. So there are no assumptions or dependencies for this project. And then the last thing that we write for BRD is we write business requirements.
What's an example, Michelle? What's an example of assumption dependencies?
So assumptions or dependencies are things which are not in your control or you are dependent on. So for example, if you're using a third-party service to do certain things, whether they provide you that service or not, again, it's a dependency on them. So things that your project is dependent on from third parties to be successfully completed is assumptions or dependencies. In this case, you're not working with any third party. You own the code for all the applications, so you're not dependent on anyone.
Okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then the business requirements. So again, every time we write business requirements So we'll write different modules, and I'm going to copy what we had from previously, a part of the business requirements, which is related to accounts management. So this digital profile management remains exactly the same. So let me give some numbering so we can really understand the entire BRD. I'm going to move it to next page. So this is my number 1.0. All this goes here. This becomes 2. So whenever you're writing your business requirements, it is important that you use the right numbering so it makes sense to everyone. There we go. All right, so are you understanding what I'm doing here, writing the business requirements? So 5.1 is profile management, where the customers can just register and everything else. Then application management. So ability for the user to start to apply life insurance application. Ability for the user to view status of life insurance application. Ability for the user to cancel life insurance application. So these are all the requirements which are related to application management. Then the next kind of business requirement I have is account management. And the first requirement underneath here for accounts management is ability for the user to pay premium. Ability for the user to update address or contact information. Ability for the user to view account history. Ability for the user to pay. Oh, we already have premium. So for the user to view payment history. So that's everything which is related to accounts management. We can then go to another thing, that is beneficiary management. Ability for the user to add a beneficiary. Ability for a user to remove a beneficiary. Ability for a user to change beneficiary type. So primary, secondary, primary, they can change that. So rather than saying change beneficiary type, we can say edit beneficiary details. And the last requirement that I want to add is related to internal system. Updates to internal system. Ability for the underwriter to receive the application directly from the external website. Ability for the underwriter to notify the applicant the result of application via email. All right, so one more thing that we need to write here. What is it that we have not yet documented? Remove the following capabilities, and the capabilities that we are removing are ability to scan an image, ability to create an internal application. So these are the two things that we are removing. So this is the complete BRD for the project with every business requirement that would be there for this. So let's say if you are a BA who just joined the project, who understood the BRD, who's understanding the as-is business, I made you write as a part of your answer that when you're trying to understand the as-is business, you would read the existing business process document. So what is an example of a document that you would read to understand the as-is business if you were working on this project?
One the paper applications.
Perfect. So what would you be doing is you would try to get access to the paper application, saying, hey, can I have a look at your current application? And what you want to do is you want to go through each of the fields of this paper application and make sure that you really understand what each field means. So for example, you might come across some jargons like dependent child coverage, disability waiver of contribution, accidental death and dismemberment. So these are some terms which are specific to insurance. So let's say if you don't understand these terms, you copy these terms, you go to Google, if you paste, it just tells you actually what those terms mean. So that way you can get up to the speed. Now, these are pretty generic terms for insurance that you would find on Google. But then you might come across certain terms which are only specific to that particular business, and those are business jargons. So you would not be able to get answers on Google. So in those circumstances, you may want to write those questions on a piece of paper, and then you might want to go and talk to a designated mentor. You say, I understand this, I understand that, but these are the few things which I fail to understand. Can you help me please understand? And they can help you understand these terms. So that's everything that I wanted to cover for this insurance case study. Any questions I can answer?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you to bring it back up so I can finish writing it.
I am going to email this as well.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any other questions before we close this?
So the business requirement part we just did, that is going to be submitted to the designer. No, not designer.
Thank you.
System architect.
No.
No.
The web developers, no?
No.
We'll have to review that with the SMEs first.
No. SMEs are not yet in the picture.
With the manager? Oh, sorry, the business owner?
Thank you. Yes, with the business owner. Because this is the very first thing, right? You create the BRD, you meet the business owner, and you say, are we on the same page? Is this everything that you want? And you're defining the scope of the project. You haven't yet gathered the requirements. So you remember where did I write? Here. The very first thing you do for a project is you end up creating a BRD. So we just created the BRD, we got a sign off. Then the project manager will create a project charter, which will talk about how long will this project take, how much will it cost. You do a kickoff meeting, and that is what will initiate your SDLC.
I realized that I was going way ahead of time. Sorry.
That's all right. That's okay. All right. Any other questions? All right. I think this completes today's class. I wanted to go through this case study. I hope this was helpful.